الحي 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 شكرا لله والحمد لله شكرا لله والحمد لله. Once again, Ya Ali Madad to all friends. We have gathered here to continue studying the book Ascent of Soul, and today we start with a new chapter, Spirit and Spirituality. G. Who's reading today?
Mumtaz Saiba will read. Yes. Spirit and Spirituality, ebook, page number 13. In today's majlis, I would like to discuss some fundamental and special points about the subject of spirit and spirituality. It is the greatest and the most important subject in the religion of Islam because it is the recognition of one's own self or soul that leads to the recognition of God. It is the successful result of true knowledge and good deeds, and it is the ultimate goal of religion.
Subhanallah. So, introduction to this beautiful chapter, Ruh or Ruhaniyat. And very interestingly, Allah Sahib used to teach in classes, and he wrote this article, and he's literally writing that in today's majlis, fundamental and special points about this subject will be discussed. Ruh and Ruhaniyat, and we all are seeker of our soul, and we all want to elevate in Ruhaniyat. So I'm sure this chapter is going to be truly very, very interesting. And definitely it's a very, very important topic for us to really understand. And religion of Islam, which is the religion of submission, Islam means submission. And we say in our tariqah, right? Tan man dhan imam ko dete hain. So when we submit ourselves to imam, the objective of that submission, the most important objective is that we say, I don't exist because I have given myself to my imam. Tan man dhan, meaning I'm nowhere there. Whatever belonged to me or me, I do not exist because I have given myself, submitted myself to the imam. In reality, when we talk like that just in saying that, if you truly understand and say that, it is negating our own self. At the same time, if I don't exist, then who am I? That would be the next question. Who am I? And that helps us to start this journey of asking, who am I? Meaning recognition of our own self or our own soul. Man arfa nafsihi faqad arfa rabbihi. The one who recognizes their own soul will recognize the Lord. So the marifat of Khuda is actually hidden in our own recognition. How amazing and mind-blowing is that? That our own recognition. Now question is, who am I? I don't even exist because I have submitted myself to Imam. So who is this person? Who is existing? These are some questions which challenges our own reality, our own existence. And when we walk on the path of true knowledge, it is truly mercy of Imam that when we do find true knowledge in our life, and when we successfully walk on the path of true knowledge and understand what are good deeds. Because in Quran, we were just reading chapter 6, verse 122. Towards the end, it says that people think they are doing good deeds, but in reality, their good deeds are made good for them. Meaning, what is the meaning of it is that people think that they are doing good deeds, but they are not good deeds in the eyes of Allah. Good deeds also have to be those which are true deeds in the eyes of Allah. Everybody thinks of themselves being very good, very pious, very righteous. Everybody feels that way. But in reality, when we truly walk on the path of true knowledge, you know what we realize? We are full of flaws, full of weaknesses, and we need to work upon ourselves. The first identification which we have, though, when we realize that though I say that I submit myself to Imam, I am a Muslim, I follow the religion of Islam and I'm Ismaili, and I say Tan Man Dhan for Imam. But no, my eyes is still existing. Everything is about me and mine. And only that fact makes us realize that there is this very strong, powerful ego exists in ourselves. And when there is an ego, Imam cannot be there. So what we are saying, when we walk on the path of true knowledge, we realize who we are in its true sense. Number one, this realization comes to mind that our being is physical, our being is spiritual, and our being is at intellectual level. All these three beings have to be nourished and nurtured. We only physically eat and become fat or grow up or whatever. How about our soul? How about our intellect? Some may say, oh, we go to school and get education. You would be correct. But then, education only limited to physical progress? Ultimately, it is for the physical life. Having good houses, good cars, or whatnot. But have we ever used our intellect to elevate ourselves in true path, in the path of Ruhaniyat? Now, when we talk of the word Ruhaniyat, we always think of Ruh and Ruhaniyat. But what we miss out, that whenever we think of walking on the path of Ruhaniyat, one cannot walk on the path of Ruhaniyat until they do not use their intellect. Without the knowledge which is actually learned and stored in our brain, in our intellect. Intellectually, when we learn things, we follow it, we work upon it, spiritually and physically. And that is what it means to nourish our being at three levels. Then only we can see the outcomes. It says in the Quran that good deeds elevates the good word. Good word is actually Ismaili. And good deeds are those deeds which are liked by Allah, not the ones which we think we are doing good deeds. Because we do not even have knowledge of true deeds. So that is why we say true knowledge or true deeds, because we do have knowledge, we do deeds, and we may think it's a good deeds. But what are the true deeds? That is the distinction which we need to have. And when we even sit in ibadat and we feel happy about ourselves, but Quran says that even for our Isma Azam to elevate, it is actually elevated by good deeds. And good deeds which are done based on the true knowledge will only elevate the Isma Azam, meaning the progress which we seek in our Isma Azam will only come from those deeds which are true deeds. And learning of the true deeds will come from true knowledge. So to summarize what we are saying here, that for every action, to have this desire to get the best possible outcomes, or say best practices, right? In every action we do, the way Hazim Imam has emphasized, that we need to have best practices. If we are investing our time, we should be getting, best results, meaning we got to do best practices. When we talk like that and we want to follow the Faramin of Imam, we realize that first we need to truly stop. Wherever we are, whoever we are, whatever we are doing, pause. What am I doing? Why am I doing it? What is the benefit? What will be the outcome? Is that what I want? Or is it the world dictating me to do that? Is it because I want to please others to do that? Or is it truly my desire, the true desire of my soul? Because physical body has come temporarily in this world and it will die. Who am I? I cannot be this body. It has to be my soul. When we truly pause, think, reflect, and ask these critical, challenging questions to ourselves, then we will stay grounded. We will remain mindful. Every word comes out of my mouth will be mindful. Every bite we put it in our mouth will be mindful. Every thought we will let it to be, in our mind has to be mindful. Meaning truly we become darwish. We become darwish. Living life mindfully is in reality, in other words, actually is becoming darwish. Today, darwish will not be those who are looking like monk or wearing white clothes all the time. Imam Sultan Mahmud in his Farman says that I love the title of Darwish, and I used to give that title to Jamaat, but Jamaat didn't like it. But today in the classes of knowledge, we are learning that in reality, all of us, what we are seeking to become Darwish. Darwish, not just physically, spiritually and intellectually. And that will only happen when we will ask, who am I? Why am I on this planet? What is my purpose? And the frequent we ask, the regular centering or regular grounding of ourselves by asking these questions will remind us to be not overpowered by carnal soul, which is animal soul. Why would we behave like an animal? Why would we let this animal soul to overpower us? We are better than that. We are more knowledgeable than that. And we have this power of intellect with us to overcome, this carnal soul. Who am I? Why am I doing it? The purpose of our coming to this planet is actually to prepare for hereafter. What did I earn today? What did I lose today? Did I increase in my saving account? Did I profit it? The way P says, "Varan jara, varan juro kari lavjo." Or did I lost today? And if I lost, then did I seek forgiveness for that? How true, sincere I was in seeking forgiveness. Was it superficial or truly I meant it? Why am I doing this? Before every act, why am I doing this? How it's going to benefit me? Is this work will be long lasting, or again I am getting into the trap of physical world, physical things, doing for physical pleasure? Not saying that we are not supposed to have fun or not live physical life. Do everything mindfully. For a moment in Salik, everything they do becomes ibadat. Everything they do becomes ibadat because they're doing it mindfully with Imam in their heart. So in just this introduction, when we are trying to understand this chapter about spirit and spirituality, this is a very in-depth chapter because it is talking about Ruh and Ruhaniyat. That is what we are seeking. So the first task would be from us, we need to take home today. Who am I? Why am I here? Why am I doing this? And there are so many beautiful ginans which says that, for example, Uth jaag, man mera tu kahe ko sota hai. It is not sleeping in the sleep sense. No. Why am I mindlessly living my life? Why am I sleeping? So today, for us, the most important lesson would be to ask, who am I? Why am I doing this? Because we all have to start this journey. Sooner we start to recognize who we are. When we look into ourselves, you know what we will find? We will find all those diseases which we've been talking about in Book of Healing. And Alhamdulillah, we are blessed to be studying that book as well. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Maya, Hasad, Ahankar. All these diseases in some other, in different intensities will be in different individuals. But these diseases are there because carnal soul is there. Have we worked hard to overpower these diseases, or we are still sick? And if we have seen these diseases within ourselves, did we started to treat it? Because by not treating it, जख्म जो है ना वो नासूर बन जाता है, right? We understand that if we have a small cut, if we don't take care of it, if it becomes infected, then it will become abscess, right? Then the more stronger treatment will be needed. So the sooner we start identifying who we are, what we are doing, where do we stand, what diseases do I have, how hard work I need to put, what kind of antibiotics do I need to take to heal myself, then only we will know what does it mean to walk in the path of Ruhaniyat. Because Ruhaniyat is, in one way, it is very simple and easy. On the other hand, it is very difficult. So the first thing is, the first most important lesson is, in one's own recognition of self is the recognition of Imam. Why? Because within our being is the soul as well. Now, I have talked about all those things which are kind of, flaws and shortcomings. But let me tell you a good thing as well. Somebody asked a teacher that, please pray for me that I enter into Bihisht. I enter into Jannat. And teacher replies, why would you even say that? Why would you even say that when you are already in Jannat? Meaning, when we are Ismailis, we are already in Jannat. The prayer should be that, Ya Mawla, let me never be out of the Jannat. We never want to leave our Imam. Now, when we are saying that, it doesn't mean that we will leave Ismaili Tariqa. No, we are not saying that. If we don't recognize ourselves, if we do not recognize ourselves, we don't even will recognize what Imam is, what Jannat is, what are the benefits of being in Jannat. So all these critical questions have to be asked to identify who am I. On the path, we will also identify the strengths we have, because we all do also have strengths. What are my strengths? And how, with Maula's mercy, I can multiply, I can increase those strengths to benefit your own self and our own Jamaat. In giving is barakat. All this is, very briefly actually talking about man arfa nafsihi faqad arfa rabbihi. So I hope that suffice. I hope that we all got our homework. And I remember Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah's farman that every night we need to check our own pulse. He says that you become your own doctor. It is saying the same thing. Recognize your own self, your flaws, your weaknesses, your strengths, your power, and yourself being in Jannat already. When we recognize ourselves, we will recognize the Imam. Alhamdulillah. Ji.
The most comprehensive principle. When it is a fact that the precious treasure and its unbounded, lasting, and imperishable wealth of the recognition of God is hidden in man's own recognition, why should not more and more attention be paid to it? The recognition of soul in reality means to see and recognize it completely with the inner eye. This subject is so great, vast, and comprehensive that it comprises all subjects related to religion, because everything is contained in the supreme recognition of God. In other words, the subject of the recognition of God covers all subjects and extends to them. Therefore, I would like to emphasize that it is a dire need to pay more and more attention to the subject of spirit and spirituality.
Subhanallah, subhanallah. So we have talked about that how within our own self, the recognition of Imam, God, whatever name you want to say, it is hidden because we are connected to Him. We all understand this term, right? Anai Ulvi, the higher I, and in us is Anai Sifli, meaning the lower I. And it is very interesting that it never is disconnected, meaning that to recognize our own self, we will find out all those lasting, imperishable wealth, bounties, all which is within us by identifying that the link was never broken. The link is always there. Yes, we have to shorten the link, we have to elevate ourselves, that is given. But to realize that we are never disconnected from Him, we are always one with Him. That is truly, rahmat of Imam, mercy of Imam to realize, to remember that. And if we realize that, if we understand that within our own being, it is His recognition which is hidden, why would we not pay more attention to it? We should be very, very, very curious, and to find out why and how He, the most powerful, the omnipotent, how is He hidden in this small being? Then it says the recognition of soul in reality means to see and recognize it completely with the inner eye. We cannot put enough emphasis that all what we discuss here, yes, we are talking about knowledge and learning at the level of true knowledge, but it means nothing if we don't elevate ourselves and see this with the inner eye, in our batin. Because all these marvels and wonders are actually present in our batin. Pura khazana jo hai chupa hua hai. But if we, enjoy listening to lectures, ilm, that is very good. But only listening and after that doing nothing. Only listening and spending that time in a good listening manner, which is good, it will have limited advantage. After that, do we reflect? Do we think? Do we regurgitate? If we don't, then we are taking limited advantage of it. Why? Because we got to pay attention and we need to get to the level of Ainul Yaqeen, meaning we need to be able to see all this with our own Batni eyes, which has been given to us. Batni eyes has been given to us. So when we realize this chapter of Ruh and Ruhaniyat, it is truly vast, truly great, and comprehensive. Everything is within the recognition of Imam. Everything. Everything is in the recognition of Imam. So definitely, ʻAllāmah Sahib here says that there is a truly dire need for us to pay more attention to it. When we ask this question, what is our soul? Who am I? What does it mean that I have soul? What does it mean that I want to do Ruhani Taraqi? Imam says, I pray for your spiritual progress. When Imam says that, what does it mean? All these answers are actually hidden in the recognition of Imam. And we have understood the recognition of Imam is actually within the recognition of our own self. So the journey is not outside. Journey is actually within ourselves. This knowledge will help us stop. Being in this busy world, we will stop, we will become calm, relax, and ask these critical questions. Why am I doing this? Why am I running so much? Why am I so tired? What is the benefit? What is the advantage? What am I going to gain from whatever I'm doing? Am I investing my time, my energy to the long-lasting, permanent things, permanent house, or all temporary? Temporary will be lost, it will be gone. So smart people are those who pay attention to these facts. These are true facts of life. Momin and Salikin are the ones who are interested to know these facts. Ji.
Hazrat Maulana Ali says, "He who recognizes his soul indeed recognizes his Lord, Rabb." It is also said, "He who among you recognizes his soul more recognizes his Lord more." Since the supreme rank of the recognition of God becomes complete after passing through many stages of spirituality and merging in the origin, it cannot be attained merely by one's own efforts. The help and guidance of the true guide on this delicate and difficult path are indispensable. This great feat of moment's religious life can be accomplished in the light of the sacred guidance of God, the Prophet, and the Imam of the time.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah. So there is a saying by Maula Ali and there is a saying by Prophet Muhammad, almost same wordings. Man arfa nafsihi faqad arfa rabbihi. So there is a saying by both of these personalities saying and teaching us the same thing, that the one who recognizes themselves will recognize the Lord, the Rabb, the sustainer. Rabb, whenever we read the Rabb, Rabb means the one who has the role of mother. Again, very important reflection on this saying. Man arfa nafsahi faqad arfa rabbihi. Rabb, Rabbil Alameen, the one who sustains. The role of Rabb is of mother. Rabbil Alameen, tamam jahano ka palne wala. When we think of the word palne wala, sustain karne wala, there is always the role of a mother. Mother is with the child, teaching, guiding, and that role in Ruhaniyat is actually played by our peers. Peers' knowledge is with us, their ginans are with us, their talimat are with us. We have all these books to help us learn this knowledge. When we learn this knowledge, it is like learning from our mothers. Our affectionate mother is teaching us through the ilmul yaqeen. It is the task of the teacher, the mother, to teach us. When we are learning this knowledge, truly just like mother who lovingly takes care of us, who teaches us exactly in the same way, for our soul, there is a recognition of Rabb, meaning the mother. Through the recognition of Rabb, there is higher level of recognition. Recognition within recognition within recognition. So there are so many levels of recognition. First, the recognition is ilmul yaqeen, then there is a recognition at ainul yaqeen, and then there is haqqul yaqeen. And each of these steps has so many steps within it. Darja ba darja, ilm wali ru, darja ba darja upar chadti hai. Since the supreme rank of the recognition of God becomes complete after passing through many stages of spirituality. रूहानियत में बहुत सारे मकामात हैं. There are very many steps, very many stages in रूहानियत. Just ilmul yaqeen has within it so many stages. But when ilmul yaqeen is elevated and becomes ainul yaqeen, the journey of रूहानियत, nuraniyat, all those stages are right in front of us. And finally, there is merging. Merging, fanayat. एक हो जाना, असल में वासिल हो जाना. मैं और तू की दो ही छोड़ सब एक देख. अल्लामा साहब says, मैं उसमें कि वो मुझ में. ये सिर्फ क़यामत है. Merging is like unity, sangam. There is no separation. There is no judai. There is no dui. It is one. What a beautiful stage of ruhaniyat for Momin and Salih. Just take this example, a worldly example. How much do we get happy when we hear about wedding? You know, somebody loving couple and they're happy and they're getting married. It's a joyous occasion for the family and friends. It is all physical merging. Now imagine Ruhani merging. Can we even think about it? Can we reflect? When I listen to this Ginan, right, that Shahamaro Parane, Vishwa Kumari, Shahana Pat Bharavo, Sajavo, all that beautiful explanation which Peer has said in such a beautiful Ginan, when we hear it, it's like, Imam is getting married. But why would Peer in Jamaat Khana teach us about Imam getting married? It is not about physical wedding. It is all about that merging which happens between the soul, our soul as a soul of a Nari, girl, and Imam being the Mard Mutallaq. There is merging of the soul. And it is nothing to do after dying. Asal mein wasal to jaan chuti, asal mein wasal hoga. Dua karo bas. Are? This is occasion of celebration. This is occasion of happiness. This is a wedding time. I want to wed during my lifetime. If I want to see my husband, all of us, male or female, doesn't matter. If I want to see my handsome husband, it has to happen during my lifetime. And for that, I got to prepare myself. First, I need to know how am I, who am I, what is my status, how much I have trained myself to be worthy of his wife. That is the different level of maqamat, stages of spirituality, to identify where do we stand, what do we need to fix, how do we need to become truly fana in him, step by step, cell by ru, rome rome maru shavase. And then that union happens, that merging happens, inshallah, during our lifetime. It cannot be attained merely by one's own efforts. Nobody should think that I can do this and it will happen. No, 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 no. Remember, it happens with His mercy. Moment's duty is a struggle. Victory or defeat is in the hands of God. We never say, oh, I go to Jamaat Khana, or I do this, or I did this, I should be getting this. No. In Ruhaniyat, this does not work. Physical world, you may be able to do that. Spiritual world, this does not work. I will do everything, Mawla. It is your hukum. It is your rahmat. You give, I am shukr guzar. You do not give, I have no complaints. That is the true namrata, ajizi, humility. True humility. It is not my right, Mawla. Betul Kyal Farman, we all have heard. It is not our right. It is His mercy. He gives whom He wills. Quran says it so many times. He gives it to those whom He wills. So we continue to seek, pray about His will. Ya Mawla, tari meethi nazar amara par kar. We always say that. It is always His mercy, not that our efforts counts. We continue to sacrifice, we continue to work hard without any expectations. The help and the guidance of the true guide on this delicate and difficult path are indispensable. Indispensable. This great feat of moment's religious life can be accomplished in the light of the sacred guidance of God, the Prophet, and the Imam of the time. So yes, we do understand Imam as Wasila as well. That he is the Wasila today. Yesterday it was a Prophet's time, and we do say in dua, Inna lazina ya ayyuhallazina amanu atiullaha wa atiur rasul wa ulil amra minkum. Right? That Imam is amra minkum, bayat on his hand, acceptance of him is as if we did bayat of Prophet Muhammad, acceptance of Prophet Muhammad, and that is exactly as if we have been Farman Bardar of Allah, who is Noor-e Mujarrad. So it is so simple and easy when we understand that if we become Farman Bardar to Imam, we seek knowledge. We continue to do what we need to do without any expectations. When we don't have expectations, there is no disappointment as well. It's a path of joy. It's a path of reminding ourselves that we are slaves and He is the master. Whenever the master will please, He will help us. And He is Rahman and Rahim. Why would He not help? He loves us. He is desperately waiting for us. He will give us Ruhaniyat, but He is worried about us. Why do we think that Allah says that or Imam says that everywhere? Baitul Khayal Farman or Hadith or Quran. This is the teaching that it is not your right. He gives to whom He wills because they know our weakness. What if it goes to our head? What if it, you know, becomes like what Azazel did? Azazel 36 करोड़ किताबा पढ़ लिया, भीतर भेद ना पाया. क्या हुआ? What happened to him? He was an elevated angel, but it went to his head and he fell down. So Imam mercifully protect us, that remain humble, remain saying that Mawla, it is you whose will. It is not my place to ask for it. Yes, I desire it. There's no harm in saying that. Yes, I desire it, Mawla. I do want to wed during my lifetime. I do not want to wait until I die. Please, Mawla, marry me. Do propose him every day. Do not skip any day. But it is His mercy whenever He says yes. And for Him to say yes to us, we have to do what is required to do. It is all about us. And remember that when we came to this world, we said that we happily are going to go to this world and we are willing to do the hard work. We will find you, no worries. We love you. We are not going to forget you. We will find you. And he says, okay, if you say so, I'll let you go. Go and find me. So we have come with our own free will. We love our Imam and he is with us, guiding us. We do not need to worry, but do what we need to do. When we do it, it will happen for us. I firmly believe that. Shukran lillah walhamdulillah. Ji Naveen Sahiba.
Subhanallah, subhanallah, subhanallah. Before we start saying, I think just have to make a small announcement. The lot of friends have been requesting, because the chapters are very beautiful at this point, as today's chapter. So friends have requested, and they're all motivated at this time. With the book studies, we took this as a 30 minutes, and I think we are doing all wonderful. And the chapters are being a little bit longer at this point. They're no longer like points as we were doing, so we can go ahead and move these to maybe Wednesday or Thursday whenever we do a session. Maybe one day we do the Ascent of Soul, so we can cover more content than the 30 minutes only. So friends, do note that from next Monday onwards, we will not have this 30-minute session, but inshallah we'll have 1 hour session either Wednesday or Thursday, and Nachis will post the announcement on Lumi session group, so friends can join from there. So thank you so much. And today's session, it was just amazing how we started with the deeds are the true deeds are the ones which take the true word, elevate the true word. And I think that hits the heart at that point, because Sultan Muhammad Shah has been actually explaining that to us, that if our amal is not good, we will not progress. And knowing self recognition, the way we have always been thinking about it, it is so different when we hear it like that Mola says clearly, sit, don't expect, be humble. We know all of these things, but when you talk about it like that, proposing Mola every single day, it is such a fascinating, it brings joy to heart. That am I even able to, or am I even capable enough, Mola, to propose to you? You are like Noor of heavens and earth. Who am I to propose to you? But it brings a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, that Mola has actually blessed us with these classes, with true knowledge. He has blessed us during Diamond Jubilee with bowl and with the Dai title. Like, there are infinite mercies We just have to, remember these and think about these before we sit in ibadat, and feel these feelings which we feel during the ilmi session. And I feel like that this arouse in our being, only if we can continue to feel it at all the time. Inshallah, 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 with prayers from friends, we will all get there. And just wanted to say is like, please keep each other in prayers. We all need those prayers. And it was just so beautiful. I just cannot stop. So thank you so much for the wonderful session, friends. If you have any comments, any thought in your mind, do come forward and share. Okay, Karima Saiba actually asked a question. Can you please go over more specifically what good or true deeds are?
So I would say there's a whole session
Ji.
which is about this true deeds and good deeds. How about we request Naveen Saiba to post it on the Ilmi session so everybody can benefit? And I remember this question was primarily asked by Munira, that what is the difference between amal, achhe amal or sache amal? And we had taken the whole session. Very simply, if I were to give you answer right now, very briefly, for example, somebody may go to morning Jamaat Khana, pay the son, and go to Majalis, and they think that they are following the Ismaili tariqa. And in their opinion, it is all good deeds. At one level, they are good deeds, but when we become seekers in true knowledge, we realize, do you truly understand what you are doing in Ibadat? Do you understand what dua means? Do you understand what the song means? How is it um, at three levels? So, with lack of knowledge, those good deeds, Quran says that on that day, it will be blown like this. It matters nothing. Good deeds will be blown like, it will be all blown away because they are not true deeds. They were not done with the recognition of Imam. And Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah has taught us the same thing in different words. Imam has said that if you will not teach your children the true religion, then they will only follow physical deen. Physical deen at a level of physical, doing physically things. We also call it sometimes blind faith. And people do these things and they feel very happy actually, very happy because they believe that they are doing good deeds. And Quran says that all those deeds which you thought were good deeds will not matter at all. Oh, good deeds will not matter? Why would it not matter? Because they were not based on the recognition of Imam. They were not based on understanding the deeper meaning of it. They were like superficial physical performance of all those deeds, feeling very happy, inflated the ego. Why go to Jamaat Khana? You did not go to Jamaat Khana. Or I pay always the son and my money is never lost because I pay always the son. Do we not hear those things? All those things are, when we think like that, it is very limiting the mercy of Imam. It is actually very limiting, especially in context of the son. We when we pay the son, we think it is our right now that Imam will protect our money. We should not have any loss because Imam protects money. For a child, for a physical level, it is all, yes, very important. But for an adult, it is not about Imam protecting my physical money and that is why I give thee the son. That is very childish thinking, very childish thinking. So all those good deeds are blown away because they are not true deeds. And remember, when we talk in sessions like that, I always say that keep it close to ourselves. We are talking about us, our families, ourselves, our Jamaat. So are we doing deeds? Are they good deeds or they are true deeds? Where do we stand? But there's a detailed lecture Naveen Saiba can share with us. Thank you.
Amin, Amin, Najis will post. Friends, if you have any comments, any questions, any feelings, if you would like to share, come forward. I have like flowers inside my heart right now. So who else is feeling like that? I know Faril Sabadit said Amin Subhanallah, so I'm sure she's feeling it.
Shukran Mawla, Shukran Mawla. It is okay. Everybody probably does not feel comfortable sometimes to express, so we understand that. I'm sure we all are lovers of Imam, and there are beautiful flowers in everybody's heart. What I would like to say, Naveen Sahaba, listening to you, I have felt that the objective which you had started with the book study group, that friends will become interested in reading books. I think what you said today made me feel that you have achieved that objective, and that is why there is no need for us to meet 30 minutes, in a small group. Those people who had shown the interest, eventually more people have become interested in reading these books and understanding these books. So truly, as a group, we achieved a very big task. So Mubarakbadi to all of you who took sabkat, who took lead to come forward and said, oh, I want to study the books. So thank you for doing that. Due to you all, there are more Jamaati members, more friends who have come forward to understand these books. Thank you.
Amin, Amin, Shukran Mullah, Shukran Mullah. Thank you, Niamat Sahaba, for a beautiful session. And thank you, friends, for joining. Inshallah, we'll see you on Wednesday for Book of Healing session. And Chandrat Mubarak to you all for tomorrow. Yali Madad.
Yali Madad, Chandrat Mubarak, Yali Madad.
Yali Madad, Yali Madad.
Yali Madad. Thank you, Guzar. Yali Madad.